Bye. So man, I'm gonna review a few and slides quick of what I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read some news. Hier is mijn lezen want toen nieuws Susani. Ik ga een paar stukjes nieuws lezen, maar is in het Engels. Ja, hoor mij Engels. It is in het Engels, dus it will be in English. Anyway, man, you can see it. Energy crisis hits Europe. Iran war fallout, and I'm gonna be reading about the Red Devils. It's Belgium. They call themselves the Red Devil, whatever, man. It's their they are called Vlaming. That's one of their ethnic group in Belgium is Vlaming, like flame, fire. That's their symbol, man. Whatever. But seeing my symbol doesn't mean it's their symbol, because in Africa we have just like I keep saying, you have two hands, I've got two hands. It doesn't mean my hands are your hands. That's the real talk. You should be able to see something and just let it be. That's what is going on with many people out there. They will see something and start comparing themselves to anything out there. I don't compare myself to anybody or anything. I'm just me. OKHANO, I know what I are, who I am. You don't know what you are or who you are or whatever. Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, Red Devil Crush is the same thing. The same one, man. Oh yeah, the clock will be going forward, I think. I'll lose 1 hour tonight. Yeah, so it will be like summertime is coming. So when they changing the time and then speak on father time. Yeah, so you can see it happening there. What they do in it, they say to save on energy. So whatever, man. I will be reading about it also over there. Lose 1 hour tonight. You can see it over here, man. So synagogue explosion, 3 arrested, rising anti-Semitism in Netherlands. Whatever is them saying it. So when Suriname lost the playoff against Bolivia, I'm gonna be reading about that also. And let's see. Oh yeah, the oil boom, Caribbean Energy Week 2026 starts now. But then Suriname and Guyana are beefing about Tigri gebied. Whatever, man. Just saying. To me, they are all oh yeah, this part. See, Suriname versus Guyana, quarantine river charges explode. It's called Tigri gebied, tiger area. There is oil there, and many Indians. Many Indians lived there when they came from India, when they were brought there by these Caucasians, man. So they got a place called Nikeri, and Nikeri is in West Suriname and is close to the Guyana border, to the British Guyana border. Yeah, man. It's been because this is happening just like what happened in Africa. The Caucasians came and split the continent up in parts, just like they wanted to. This part is for Belgium. The same thing happened there. One part was for British English, one part was for French, and one part was for the Dutch. Because the Dutch and the French and the English, they were fighting amongst each other. That's what many people don't know about this whole slavery thing. It was these people fighting like Iran and against America, and they would have black people between them in their army, just like Russia has and the Africans in their army. Yes, that's part of your slavery. Man, that's why you have this regiment. I keep saying they had black hunters. It's like if Russia was fighting against my people right now in Suriname, there would be Africans in the army of Russia fighting against my people. That's what we're saying. That I'm saying these black Americans from the north, many of them were in the regiment in the army of the colonizer. Yeah, that's why they were called Negro, because they were on the plantation, and to get their freedom is just like today. They have boot camp or they have prison. It's the same thing. In Africa, back then, it was the same thing. If you had to pay tax or you had committed a crime, they would sell you to the Caucasian and say, go to America and work there for 10 years. And the Caucasian would give these people on the continent the money today. Forward the money, and you would go and labor to pay back the money. Just like you have hookers, they get hookers from the Scandinavia area or whatever, the east over Eastern Europe, and bring them to America to work, or to West Europe to work. It's the same thing going on another scale. Because over there in America it was more brutal. I'm saying more brutal, but the one in East Africa, the Arab slave trade is still going on. So all these things you're saying, beefing today, war is going on, Israel is the same slavery thing going on from 2000 years ago, since your so-called Jesus died. since this Jesus thing happened, everybody is claiming to be Jesus. And where I come from, they will claim to be Da Kalali, Da Vinci. They will, in Africa, they will claim to be Tata Okonfanoche, Tata Aseibu Amenfi, because those titles are where I come from, those are the Jesus titles. Like an Isaiah, but we operate on a different level. Because names like Moses is not Moses, it's a Musasi. Musa, that's why some will say Musa, but my people will say Musasi, a Musasi. You see? That's why when these people say Moses, I'm saying, that's why I keep saying your Moses is not my Moses, because I know what when you say Moses and I read the scripture you're talking about, it's about Tata Musasi. You see? Just like you say yellow, when you point to me, this is yellow, I will say, no, it's not yellow, it's Taya. Because in my language, this what you call yellow is called Taya. You see? So your yellow is your yellow, but to me it's Taya. That's where we differ. That's why I keep saying your thinking is not my thinking. Yeah, because when I say Taya, we mean the same thing, but we don't know why I say Taya and you say yellow. You see that? Because in the beginning there was only one language. That's why there is only one word. If in the beginning there was only one word, all words will return back to that one word. At the end, it has to be able to return to that one word. Otherwise, it would be impossible. No one can think of anything that cannot exist or has existed or could be possibly to come into existence. It's impossible. Input is output. A human is just a battery, just like a radio. That's why you have words like medium. It's like a sender, a radio sender. That's why at night you have to go to sleep to fill up your battery. You are a slave of your God, so-called God. But it's normal. See? And what is happening here on earth? These people took that slavery to oppress people, but slavery is to depend on something. If you depend on your wife, you are a slave of your wife, like your sleeve. You see, your sleeve, your hand helps you, right? Your slave is a handyman, your worker. That's all it means. But they will take it and oppress people with it. That's what's going on. It's a bit much, I know, but and a sidetrack, I know. But so you see, all these things has to do with the same thing. Guyana beefing with these Surinamese people, man. Because Suriname and this woman, because this Caucasian said these Native Americans who are in Suriname before my people, before Africans. Okay, if they say that is their business. If we keep that narrative, Simons from Suriname can tell this Guyanese go back to India because she is a Native American. She's Native American mixed with African and Dutch or whatever. She is like Obama, but a Native American Obama. You see that? So she according to history, she has more right to say, hey, this is my ancestor land, and this and Ali from Guyana, you come from India, you are East Indian. She is the West Indian. Understand? Because West Indian are these so-called black people, mixed Indian Native Americans over there. Because they have dark skin. If you see the East Indian Dravidian, that's why they said Columbus thought he was in India, because he saw these Sambo people who are mixed African and so-called Native Americans, like Fiji Island people, like The Rock, like Obama. Obama is a colored man, a black man. Black means a spot, stain. Yeah, a stain. That's why you have the word Satan. It's Satan. It's a fleck. In Dutch, it's called vlek, a spot. And this same spot, you have the spotlight, as above, so below. But that's a sidetrack. So, and that is all part of your slavery, man. So I'm gonna move on from there. So this, I was just saying it, and this Tariq Nasheed, bug-broken FBA Black Americans, is now claiming that he was sold by Africans, but you claim to be indigenous to North America. So how could you be sold to European by Africans if you were never on the continent to begin with? If you are foundationally Black American, you don't have African roots. You are a Black American. That's what you said. You're FBA. You are not an African from America. You are a Black American. You said with 20% Caucasian blood as a child of the colonizer. Now he's fighting against the Ghanaian president. He is behind all the protests against the Africans. It's Tariq Nasheed. He's working for MAGA, for Donald Trump and Nick Fuentes. He got money for it. I made cartoons about it. Na may idwa sa niyere, de man yamang money de man for Trump, 550 tegen Caribbean sama ang Afrikaan. Da may tegi de man taki en abi 20% weti man bulu. Anga de man na sambika ede langa kabana North America. Ome fude sama fi taki na den tu ingi en kefambe taki fude sambo. Nede taki na den tu ingi of sa. Me tegi de man dan me kede kwanga de oshi kulturu me kyoshi. Want de mai go fu den kulturu fu den gata wi ingi da den takia fu den. Me taki no ne me so de man taki no. De man taki den gata wi ingi fo shafi kambe poido Amerika den gata wi ingi be do da pekaba. Dus winsi taki be jape 1000 jali, yo taigi taki 10.000 jali geleden gata wi ingi be waka komotwa Rusland. Want Rusland anga Amerika imiti gewoon, ala den peesje miti. Want ika waka gwa Rusland, dai waka voor Rusland, go na Europa, gwa Afrika. Want Afrika anga Europa imiti na Spanje, na Gibraltar. Isi da hi go tapu miti want tei waka gwa pe, dai ka waka gwa India. Isi fu India dai close na Australië dai lon tu go tapu. Aso den sani gewoon omem, dus ika on teke pikimboto dai lon tu hi wereld gewoon. Ome manabi de verstaan dat yo taigi taki blakamano abden denki dat de man alesi man. En deze man, yeah, whatever man. De man namsa, so Tariq Nasheed is now clear you're not my people, so I'm not gonna waste my time and on your foolery, man. You are a Black American. I don't know what you are. I'm an African from America, from Amazon jungle, South America. So there, you are a different kind of people. I don't know your people, man. I'm gonna move on to the next. That's the real talk. You are a different race of people, man. See, majority rules. FBA debunked. Only minority of African sold people, blah, blah. It's the same thing going on here again, man. I'm gonna move on. Oh, this is Kamji first. Yeah, oh yeah, that's why I screenshot this one. You see, when you speak about Africa, you get no views. They will send bots to oppress the channel. You see, but if he was fighting against Caribbean, causing out Caribbeans or causing out Africans, this video would maybe have like 224,000 views. Now you see only 24 views in 4 hours. You see the one Ken Ganda is one of the haters of Africans is over there. Ken Ganda, he is a Black American, but he stole the name and he was in Uganda trying to get women. I've made videos about him. Dookie Jackson is his name. Yeah, Dookie Jackson. And you see, because he's fighting against Caribbeans and Ghanaian, he's getting views on internet. So you see that even the Caucasian is pushing it. Because they work for MAGA, they work for Trump, and not even only for Trump. Because left and right, Democratic and Republicans, they are all the same. Yeah? They are just two faces of the same coin. Yeah? Just leave it alone. And that's why I'm saying build your own stuff. Build your own country. Yeah? If they kicking you out, kick them out. That's the real talk, nigga. Yeah, this is the majority rules I was showing you about the Kamji first. This guy makes a lot of video about African stuff, but then he will get no views for that. Those people who are attacking Caribbeans and Africans, they get views. Because the Caucasian, even white people so-called, will go and like that videos to push it. Because they wanna see the fight going on. Because right these days, Caucasians don't even have to fight against Caribbeans and Africans. Black Americans are doing it. Negro so-called. That's why I like to distinguish between African from America and a Negro, because a Negro is from the plantation, a child of the Caucasian. That's the real talk, man. So let's move on. Black farmer foreclosure crisis. So Trump is saying there is no longer money for black people, man, because he's fighting his war. He needs the money to go and fight his war. Dus Trump tak jou te kya la money jabegi den black ama fu den pa disani fu go fiche olo. De man sak want Tariq Nasheed sefi na de sansa I don't know ama egis my klari. Tariq Nasheed is fighting against and other people while his own I shouldn't say his own people, because this guy probably disagrees with him just like me, and city Negroes don't agree because city Negroes used to fight against my race. So yeah, that's the real talk. Black Americans said this, we are not from Africa. I was just saying it about city Negroes. Because these black Americans, they are called city Negroes. They are from the plantation. I'm in America, they call my race bush Negroes. They are Africans. When they say bush Negroes, countrymen, they mean Africans living in the jungle. And what will they tell you? Those people living in the trees. Yes. Even in Suriname, they will tell you, these people living in the Amazon, these Africans, they live in the trees, just like they say about the Africans from the continent, because they never went there. They are from the plantation. Yeah, they are just bounty and black hunters, child of the Caucasian and whatever. Whatever they are or not are is their business, but don't conflate the two. That's what I'm saying. Yeah? So this thing you see, this black American saying, to me is normal, because Negro and Suriname do the same thing. That's the same thing like the Dominicano was saying, I know black, I know black. And this black American is saying, I know African, I know African, I know Caribbean. It's their business. I never said black Americans were my people, man. You came and said you are African American. Nobody gave you the name. Because you are a Negro. To me, you are. You're a mulatto or whatever name you want to take. It's your business, man. What I saw in Cuba, Vic Mensa. So they are pressing Cuba that they will take over Cuba, like I said yesterday. They are already busy with it. And this Suriname thing, they will take over Suriname because Guyana and Trinidad are the only two countries in the Caribbean that is aligned with the United States. Yeah, understand that. They don't care about Native American, because if you ever say I want to see the American, they will show you a European. When they tell you that the Native American is this Asiatic Mongoloid people from Genghis Khan, but you will see a European saying he is the American. Hey, show me an African, and they will show you an Elon Musk Afrikaner. There's the sickness you live in. Everything in your world is fake, man. Oh, this is an Zionism. What I was saying yesterday, you're no longer allowed to speak on slavery. There is no real rules for it. If you say that your people, these people enslave your people, it's considered to be racism. I didn't know that Zionism was a race of people and that Jewish belief. It's a belief. Judaism is a belief that was stolen in the 8th century from Africans people. And yeah, just like they stole America and saying they are Afrikaner there. All these things is stolen. They are sick. This guy is from Poland claiming that he's Egyptian or a Canaanite. Because if he's the Canaanite, okay, how was he able to sustain himself in the sun back then in Africa? Because these people, they get skin cancer in the sun, not only in the Netherlands, but in Israel over there. They are the most one with skin cancer, melanoma. It's called melanoma. Go and look it up. Melanin. That's why you have places like Mali. When you hear melanin, Maria, Milano, I say Milano, Mali. That's why you see Milan is red and black. Nigga, go and look it up, yeah? That's why you have America. America is the A is non or the Mali, the black, or the non-black or the black. Malika. That's why in Suriname you have people with that name, Anamarika. Yes, there is black people, Igbo, in in Suriname with that name, Marika. In Paramaribo. They have family there, Malika, like Amalicha. There is a song about it. And oh no, that one is Malaika. But and Amalicha is also one of the African words, whatever. Go and look at it. It's all fake what these people doing anyway, man. That's what I'm saying. This is an aboriginal I'm showing you this one, Tariq Nasheed. Are you more black than this Australian Aboriginal? They have curly hair, right? Coolie, curly, coolie. This is the ancestors of your East Indian. Yeah, you stupid one. When I tell you that the West Indians are black, and just like the East Indians are black, they are from the Caribbean. Yeah, because if you go to Brazil, when they will tell you black people, the first Indians of an native indigenous Brazilian, they will show you these people. That is these people. That is what I was telling you, that they look more like the Papua. These are Asiatic Africans. Yeah, these are Africans from Asia. That is what I mean when I say who is the real Indian. Nigga, we know it's not you, Tariq Nasheed, because you are a city Negro. You cannot be indigenous to anything. You are the invader. You are the child of the colonizer. How could you be indigenous, nigga? Yeah, if you when they speak about this oldest bone, Lucy or whatever name they gave the bone in Brazil, they will tell you those people look more. They are black exactly, just like this woman you see here with curly hair, just like an African, but they will tell you they are from Asia because they are more related to the Papua and the Indian. That's why Columbus thought he was in India because of these people. These people look like Sambo, right? Because when the native straight hair Asiatic people mix with the Africans, the babies become like this. You see, back in the days. That's why you have these Fiji people. This is Ajaniba Kuli. That's how my people call these people, Ajaniba, the black curly one, because Kuli is curly and this just like Jarir. Jarir simply means curly hair. But because they identify curly hair people with slavery, they will tell you that Kuli means slave, but Kuli simply means that he with curly hair, just like this. This is the ancestors of the Dravidian and those people, man. And family of the Papua. You see, they look similar, right? Yeah, that's why if you place this face even with the Olmec, you will see similarity even just like you will see it with the Nigerian or the Ghanaian. Eh, That's the real talk. That's why when I say an Indian, who is the real Indian? This is an Indian from the jungle. Yes, this is an Indian from the jungle. Maybe you didn't know that. That's why I keep saying the straight hair Indian comes from Canada. That one is from Siberia or Canada. It's when if they would tell me this Indian was in South America, it's possible. Yeah, because to me these are the same kind of species. They are different, but it's the same kind of species. Curly hair people, and curly hair people live in the sun because they need it as a helmet, as protection against the sun. Again, for their skull need to be protected. That's why we have Afro hair because we live in the sun, nigga. It's like a helmet. Yeah, if you take off that hair, you walk in the sun, you will get some sunstroke. They call it sunstroke or so sun steak or whatever. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna read the news and play my music after that, man. So when you can see it here, Black Americans protest as Ghana demands reparation. Many Africans can't understand it. Like what? Yeah, many Africans did not know that the so-called Negroes from plantation hate them. If they hate my people, what do you think they think about you? And I live in the jungle in America, and my people are not even allowed to exist. My people are not registered in the government system of Suriname. They don't exist. That's why when I make my videos and mention my name, Ohkano, Ohkano, don't you see they will go and attack those videos? Coolies from India will do it. All of them. Because they were all together fighting against my race. Caucasian, who brought the coolies to Suriname, the Chinese and the Indonesians? This Caucasian. Who brought these Negroes from the plantation to Suriname? And this Caucasian. Who was in the jungle and not on the plantation? Me. Ohkano. All of them were on the plantation with the Caucasian. Nigga, These coolies living in Suriname, they got where they live from the Caucasian. These Japanese people living in Suriname got Komawena from the Caucasian. These Chinese living in Groningen in Suriname got those places from the Caucasian. Me, I got place from no one because I was in the jungle in South America. The Caucasian came and asked us for a treaty not to and to stop burning down the plantation and killing their people, man. That's how I got my treaty, because when they would come into the jungle with their soldiers, these Negroes and all those people they was bringing there to capture my people and bring them to the plantation and sell them. That's why we destroyed the plantation in Suriname. We ended your slavery, not your Lincoln. We was destroying, burning them down. Go and ask the Rastaman, the Aquamu on Jamaica, these people on the Haiti. Even when I was small boy Haitians, because some of my people they speak French. My grandfather never went to Paramaribo. He was always going to the French side. Fransguyana. Many of my people speak French. They live there. You see, some of us speak English because it's all together. You have this British Guyana, Dutch Guyana, and French Guyana. They are all together. Just like they went there and did it in Africa with the Berlin Conference. That's why you have all this beef now, man. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. See how we use the Ghana UN reparation resolution. So this guy is the lawyer I was telling you about, the African American. He is more with how can we use this what Ghana has given to us to our benefit. This is more like a normal human being who views these other people like his roots would respond like, okay, this Ghanaian did this thing, I'm African American. How can I use this to forward my stuff I wanted to do? But if you're coming out like a small child and coming thinking you're gonna fight people, man, nobody cares tarik na shit about your bug brokenness. Just move on, man. That's the real talk. So this was the last parts, and I'm gonna go and read the news and play my music, man, because I've been speaking for half an hour now. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So you see, Fisha Sunny, you see it here, the beef is there, man. And who do you think Trump will support? Trump will support Guyana. Ere, Trump na Guyana ustoy na inya sa niada kong. Dembe tay kita kyaw kong kisagama nga Brunswick ka din ikidapi. Ala deman dapi dibi selilay apya may kong abisine selilay so lang ama no wani dapi. Trump will make up story even if you're not a drug dealer and you are in Suriname and you are not going along with what he's doing. He will make up a story and come and get you from there. That's Donald Trump, nigga. He will just say, there is Christians in Paramaribo that need to be saved. There is Christian in Mungo. And come there and blow away all this place and of Brunswick and these boaters and many of these the coolies from these coca coolies that live in the Kerry over there, man. Because they are doing the same thing. It's not only Brunswick and boaters. In Nikeri, these coca coolies are over there, but they are protected. Because they have a connection with this American stuff, just like the CIA is the real coca dealer. Everybody knows that the CIA, they have paper in Epstein files. Go and look it up. Who was bringing opium from Afghanistan? It's the CIA. But the CIA was bringing opium from Afghanistan, and they saying they fighting against drug war. y'all niggas out there are fools, man. That's why I don't participate in your fuckery. I don't go along. So ik laat het hierbij, man. Ik ga nieuws lezen en dan mijn pokoes spelen hierachter. Want veel van mijn pokoes, wat ik al zei, gisteren had ik al een paar opnieuw kunnen mixen. Maar ik moet nog een paar, maar whatever. Dat is meer technisch story voor Kills the Beats maken en dat soort stories. Laters, man.
Haag is sluw of ben je niet zo keen. Alles wat beloofd is aan het einde misschien. Geef maar al die banen gerust aan je vriend. Je geeft me een 6, maar ik verdiende een 10. De echte dieven van de stad.
Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? Wanneer het de gewone man is. Elke keer is het een nieuwe list. Dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Hey. Oeh, ah, ja. Den Haag is niet altijd fris. Velen hebben het al lang gezien. Den Haag is sluw of wij niet zo keen. Alles wat beloofd werd is aan het einde misschien. Geef maar al die banen gerust aan jouw vriend. Je geeft me een 6, maar ik verdiende een 10. De echte dieven van de stad worden ontzien. Maar zo zal het zijn. De gewone man voelt de pijn. Ja, 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 ja. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? Wanneer het de gewone man is. Elke keer is het een nieuwe list. Dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Oeh, ah, ja. Hey. Den Haag is niet altijd fris. Velen hebben het al lang gezien. Den Haag is sluw of wij niet zo keen. Alles wat beloofd werd is aan het einde misschien. Geef maar al die banen gerust aan jouw vriend. Je geeft me een 6, maar ik verdiende een 10. De echte dieven van de stad worden ontzien. Maar zo zal het zijn. De gewone man voelt de pijn. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? Wanneer het de gewone man is. Elke keer is het een nieuwe list. Dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? Wanneer het de gewone man is. Vraag je waarom hij zit aan de wijn. Voor jou is het allemaal gein. Zogenaamd hebben armen geen brein. Is het vele geld niet fijn? Is het vele geld niet fijn? Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? Wanneer het de gewone man is. Elke keer is het een nieuwe list. Dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Ah, ja. Oeh, ah, ja. Oeh, ah, ja. Oeh, ah, ja. Oh. Wie de kleine man is, laten ze in ongewis. Overal wordt je gedist, van het kastje naar de muur. Hij voelt zoveel vuur, hoe betaalt hij de huur? Noemen ze ons onguur, maken ze alles duur. Hoe gluurt of duurt, geen hulp in de buurt. Dan jij zelf een gevecht voor elk. Hoe koop je babymelk, heb je centjes in je kelk. Hier is hetzelfde gezellig, mijn liedje doet jou niks. Maar toch jongen, het helpt. Je huis net zo duur als wilders zijn vellig. Oeh, ah, ja. Oeh, ah, ja. Oeh, ah, ja. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? Wanneer het een gewone man is. Elke keer is het een nieuwe list. Dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? Wanneer het een gewone man is. Elke keer is het een nieuwe list. Den Haag is niet altijd fris.
altijd fris. Velen hebben het al lang gezien. Den Haag is sluw of wij niet zo keen. Alles wat beloofd is aan het einde misschien. Geef maar al die banen gerust aan je vriend. Je geeft me een 6, maar ik verdiende een 10. De echte dieven van de stad worden ontzien.
Clashing over the current river. Teachers appalled, the international community is watching closely.
Guyana-Suriname tensions rise over quarantine river charges. Tensions between Suriname and Guyana are trending this week after Guyana's President Irfaan Ali publicly protested new charges imposed by Suriname on the use of the quarantine river. The river forms part of the border between the two South American nations and is vital for cross-border trade, timber, and quarry operations. According to reports, Suriname has begun charging operators for activities on the river, a move Guyana describes as troubling and potentially disruptive to long-standing economic arrangements. President Ali raised concerns directly, prompting Suriname's foreign minister to engage with Guyanese authorities in response. The Suriname-Guyana Chamber of Commerce has stepped in, urging both sides to prioritize dialogue and constructive engagement. The chamber warns that the dispute could affect bilateral relations, businesses, and local communities on both sides of the border. This isn't the first time the quarantine river has been a point of discussion. Historical border issues and shared resources often spark debates in the region. Supporters of Suriname's position argue that as a sovereign nation, it has the right to manage and generate revenue from its territorial waters and resources. On the other side, Guyanese voices emphasize the need for fair, cooperative arrangements that benefit both countries without unnecessary barriers to trade. The situation remains fluid, with calls for diplomatic solutions growing louder. As two neighboring nations with strong economic ties, especially in energy and mining, maintaining good relations is seen as crucial for regional stability in the Caribbean and South America. My next news is police arrest 3 men in connection with synagogue explosions in the Netherlands. Dutch police have arrested 3 men in connection with recent explosions targeting synagogues, a development that's drawing significant attention across the Netherlands and beyond. The arrests come amid heightened concerns over rising anti-Semitism in the country. Authorities have been investigating a series of incidents, including explosions that caused damage but no injuries. Dutch news reports that the men were taken into custody as part of an ongoing probe, though specific details about their identities or motives have not been fully released yet. This follows other security incidents, such as an explosion at a Jewish school in Amsterdam that the mayor described as a deliberate attack. Security has been increased at Jewish institutions nationwide following earlier events in Rotterdam and other locations. Community leaders and politicians have condemned the acts, calling for stronger protection of religious sites and vigilance against hate crimes. The Netherlands has a long history of religious tolerance, but recent global tensions in the Middle East have contributed to a rise in reported anti-Semitic incidents. The arrests are seen as a positive step by law enforcement, signaling that authorities are actively responding to threats. However, Jewish organizations continue to express concerns about safety and have urged the government to do more to combat rising hatred. As investigations continue, the case highlights broader debates in Dutch society about security, integration, and freedom of religion. Police have appealed for anyone with information to come forward. Belgium crushes USA 5-2 in World Cup prep friendly. Red Devils shine bright. Belgium's national football team delivered a convincing performance this weekend, defeating the United States men's national team 5-2 in an international friendly played in Atlanta. The match served as important preparation for both sides ahead of the 2026 World Cup. The Red Devils dominated much of the game, showcasing strong attacking play and clinical finishing. Young goalkeeper Sen Lemons, who started in goal, made positive claims afterward about his experience and the team's depth, especially in comparison to established stars like Thibaut Courtois. Belgium's goals highlighted their attacking talent and tactical discipline. For the USA, coached by Mauricio Pochettino, the result was disappointing. The team conceded 5 goals despite showing some moments of quality. Pochettino later reflected that the side needed to show more aggression and learn from the heavy defeat, describing it as a valuable but tough lesson rather than purely negative. The friendly comes at a key time as both nations fine-tune their squads. Belgium, traditionally a strong European side with a golden generation of players in recent years, continues to rebuild and test combinations. The USA is working to build momentum as co-hosts of the 2026 World Cup alongside Canada and Mexico. Fans on social media have been buzzing about the result, with many praising Belgium's clinical edge while others noted areas for the USA to improve defensively. The game also drew attention to emerging Belgian talents making big claims about their readiness at the highest level. While a friendly, the scoreline sends a message about Belgium's current form. Will this momentum carry into qualifiers or major tournaments? For the USA, it's back to the drawing board to address the gaps exposed on the night. What did you make of the match? Impressive Belgium display or concerning signs for the USA? Share your thoughts in the comments.
It's over. The dream is over.
Suriname's 2026 World Cup dream ends after heartbreaking loss to Bolivia. Suriname's national football team saw its 2026 World Cup qualification hopes dashed this week after a 2-1 defeat to Bolivia in the playoff semifinals. The match, played on March 26, started promisingly for Suriname. Liam van Gelderen gave them a 1-0 lead early in the second half. However, Bolivia fought back strongly, equalizing in the 72nd minute and scoring the winner just 7 minutes later to secure a 2-1 victory. This result sends Bolivia through to the final playoff against Iraq, while Suriname's campaign comes to an end. Despite the disappointment, the team's performance earned praise for their fighting spirit and moments of quality against a higher-ranked opponent. Suriname has been building its football program in recent years, and reaching the playoff stage represented a significant achievement for the small South American nation. Fans across the country and diaspora had rallied behind the team, hoping for a historic qualification to the 2026 World Cup. The loss highlights both the progress made and the challenges that remain for Surinamese football, from infrastructure and domestic league development to competing consistently at the international level. While the dream is over for this cycle, many see it as motivation for the future. Supporters are already looking ahead, calling for continued investment in youth development and coaching to make the next qualification campaign even stronger. In the broader picture, football remains a unifying force in Suriname, a diverse nation where sports often bring people together across cultural lines. Tough result, but pride in the effort shown. Do you think Suriname can qualify for a future World Cup? What needs to change for them to go further next time? Share your opinions in the comments.
The Suriname oil boom is here. Caribbean Energy Week 2026 starts now. Get involved and power the future.
EU leaders navigate Iran war fallout, energy prices, and Strait of Hormuz tensions. The ongoing war involving Iran continues to dominate headlines in the European Union, with leaders grappling with its impact on energy security and global shipping routes. Recent G7 foreign ministers' meetings have highlighted efforts to secure the Strait of Hormuz once the conflict eases. But EU officials, including Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas, have expressed limited appetite for deeper military involvement. Several member states, including Germany under Chancellor Friedrich Merz, have emphasized they do not want to be drawn into the conflict, prioritizing de-escalation and protecting European energy interests without direct participation in naval missions. Rising energy prices across the continent are adding pressure on households and industries. The situation has sparked debates at recent EU summits about strategic autonomy, diversification of supplies, and potential responses to disruptions in oil and gas flows. While some voices call for stronger coordination with international partners, others stress the need for Europe to avoid escalation. The European Commission and Council have been monitoring the effects on inflation and economic stability, with discussions focusing on resilience measures. Protests in parts of Europe, linked to broader discontent with foreign policy, have also drawn attention to public sentiment. This crisis tests the EU's ability to balance unity on foreign affairs with differing national priorities. As talks continue, questions remain about how the bloc will safeguard its economy amid geopolitical uncertainty in the Middle East. The developments underscore the interconnected nature of global events and Europe's energy challenges. Will the EU pursue a more independent path, or strengthen alliances to navigate the fallout? Many observers are watching closely for the next steps from Brussels. Clocks go forward. Netherlands switches to summertime this weekend. This weekend, the Netherlands and much of Europe will lose an hour of sleep as the clocks move forward for summertime, also known as daylight saving time. At 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, March 30th, clocks will be set ahead to 3 a.m. This means shorter nights and longer evenings ahead, but many people will feel the effects of that missing hour in the days following the change. The tradition of changing the clocks has been in place for decades, aimed at making better use of daylight and potentially saving energy. However, it remains controversial. Critics argue that the disruption to sleep patterns and biological clocks can affect health, productivity, and even road safety in the first week after the switch. In the Netherlands, discussions about whether to scrap daylight saving time altogether continue. The European Union has debated ending the practice in the past, but no final decision has been made yet. Some prefer permanent summertime for the extra evening light, while others favor sticking to standard time year-round for more consistent mornings. This year's change comes at a busy time, with spring weather already bringing mixed conditions, cooler and more variable days, but with promises of warmer temperatures ahead. For many Dutch residents, the clock change is a familiar annual ritual, often accompanied by reminders to adjust alarms, ovens, and other devices. It also marks the unofficial start of the lighter half of the year, with longer days perfect for outdoor activities as the season progresses. Whether you love the extra evening sunlight or dread the lost sleep, the switch is happening tonight. Experts recommend going to bed a bit earlier to ease the transition and maintaining regular routines to minimize jet lag-like effects. How do you feel about daylight saving time? Useful tradition or outdated hassle? Let us know in the comments. Caribbean Energy Week 2026 kicks off in Paramaribo, Suriname's oil future in focus. Suriname is set to host a major regional event starting tomorrow, the inaugural Caribbean Energy Week 2026, taking place from March 30th to April 1st at the Royal Torrika Hotel in Paramaribo. Organized with support from Suriname's national oil company Satire, the conference will bring together government leaders, investors, and energy executives from across the Caribbean. The theme, Leveraging Energy Diversity Across the Caribbean, highlights the region's growing role as one of the world's fastest evolving energy frontiers. A key focus will be Suriname's expanding offshore oil and gas opportunities. Satire's offshore exploration manager is expected to present on recent exploration milestones, strategic initiatives, and how the country is preparing local businesses through its Enterprise Development Center to participate in the booming sector. Suriname has been preparing for an oil boom in recent years, with President Jennifer Geerling Simons emphasizing transparent governance, digitization to fight corruption, and sustainable development. The event comes at a time when the country is balancing traditional hydrocarbons with renewable energy discussions. Delegates from Trinidad and Tobago and other nations will attend, discussing investment, infrastructure, and regional cooperation. For Suriname, hosting this week sends a clear message. The nation is open for business and serious about positioning itself as a key player in Caribbean energy. As global interest in South American and Caribbean oil grows, events like this could attract new partnerships and funding. However, challenges remain, including environmental concerns, local content development, and ensuring benefits reach ordinary Surinamese citizens. Caribbean Energy Week 2026 could mark an important step in Suriname's journey toward energy-driven economic growth. Will it deliver concrete deals and long-term opportunities, or remain mostly talk? The next few days in Paramaribo will be telling. My next news is, data centers move ahead in Amsterdam and Lelystad despite opposition, plus healthcare spending shifts. Large data center projects in Amsterdam and Lelystad are set to proceed, even as local opposition grows over concerns about energy use, water consumption, and environmental impact. According to recent reports, authorities have given the green light to these facilities, which are driven by the booming demand for digital infrastructure and artificial intelligence. Supporters argue that data centers bring economic benefits, jobs, and position the Netherlands as a tech hub in Europe. However, critics, including residents and environmental groups, worry about the strain on the national power grid and potential noise or landscape changes. The debate reflects wider tensions in the country between economic growth and sustainability goals. In other domestic news, Dutch healthcare spending is reported to have fallen by up to €1 billion in recent periods, even as social costs continue to rise. This shift comes amid ongoing pressures on the system, including an aging population and higher demands for care. Senior buyers are also boosting the Dutch housing market by freeing up larger family homes, a positive trend for younger buyers struggling with affordability in cities like Amsterdam and Rotterdam. These stories highlight some of the key challenges and opportunities facing the Netherlands right now. Balancing tech innovation with environmental concerns, managing public finances, and addressing housing needs. As the country navigates these issues under its current political landscape, including the relatively new minority government, public debate remains lively on how best to move forward. Do you support more data centers in the Netherlands, or should stricter rules be in place? And how do you see the balance between healthcare costs and quality? Drop your opinions in the comments. My next news is, Brussels government U-turns on fines for older diesel and petrol cars. The Brussels regional government has made a surprise U-turn on planned fines for owners of older Euro 5 diesel and Euro 2 petrol vehicles, a decision that's trending among Belgian drivers and environmental groups. The low emission zone, LEZ, rules in Brussels were set to introduce stricter penalties for these vehicle categories in the coming period. However, authorities have now paused or reversed parts of the rollout, citing concerns over the impact on residents and the need for a more gradual transition. Critics of the original plan argued that many working families and small businesses rely on these vehicles and could face unfair financial burdens during the shift to greener transport. Supporters of stricter rules emphasize the importance of improving air quality in the densely populated capital, where pollution remains a public health issue. This policy reversal follows similar debates across Belgium and Europe about balancing environmental goals with economic realities. Brussels has been pushing hard on its LEZ to reduce emissions, but practical challenges, including the availability of affordable electric or hybrid alternatives, have complicated the timeline. The decision has sparked mixed reactions. Some drivers feel relieved by the delay, while environmental advocates worry it sends the wrong signal and slows progress toward cleaner air. Local politicians have defended the move as pragmatic, promising to support drivers with incentives for upgrading vehicles where possible. As Belgium navigates its climate commitments alongside daily mobility needs, this U-turn highlights the ongoing tension between ambition and feasibility in urban policy. How do you view this change? Sensible adjustment or step backward on climate action? Should governments push harder on older vehicles or offer more support for transitions? Let us know below. My next news is Earth Hour 2026 lights up Brussels. Iconic monuments go dark for the planet. Brussels joins cities worldwide for Earth Hour 2026 on Saturday evening, with iconic monuments and buildings switching off their lights to raise awareness about climate change and energy conservation. Major landmarks in the Belgian capital went dark for 1 hour as part of the global WWF initiative. The symbolic gesture aims to highlight the need for sustainable energy use and stronger action against environmental challenges. This year's Earth Hour comes amid ongoing discussions in Belgium about energy prices, the transition away from fossil fuels, and the impact of international events on household bills. While the Lights Out event is largely symbolic, it sparks broader conversations about practical steps individuals and governments can take. In recent months, Belgium has seen debates over austerity measures, pension reforms, and environmental policies. The country continues to balance its role as a hub for EU institutions with domestic pressures on living costs and sustainability. Earth Hour also coincides with spring transitions, including the switch to summertime this weekend, which brings longer evenings but reminds many of the rhythms of daylight and energy consumption. Participants and organizers encouraged people to reflect on their own energy habits, from turning off unnecessary lights to supporting renewable projects. In Brussels, the event passed peacefully and drew positive attention online, with photos of darkened landmarks circulating widely. Whether small symbolic acts like Earth Hour lead to bigger policy changes remains debated, but they keep environmental issues visible in public discourse. Did you participate in Earth Hour or notice the lights going out? What do you think is the most effective way for cities like Brussels to tackle climate challenges? Drop your opinions in the comments. My next news is EU Parliament approves return hubs for migration, a controversial step forward. In a significant development, the European Parliament has voted to make it easier for member states to establish return hubs, migrant processing and detention centers located outside the EU's borders. The proposal allows individual countries or groups of nations to set up facilities in third countries for handling asylum claims and facilitating deportations of those denied entry. Countries like Greece, Germany, the Netherlands, Austria, and Denmark have already been exploring agreements, mainly with partners in Africa. Supporters argue this approach will improve efficiency, reduce irregular migration pressures on EU borders, and ensure faster returns while respecting international law. They see it as a practical response to ongoing challenges in the migration system. Critics, however, raise concerns about human rights, conditions in external centers, and potential legal or ethical issues. The vote reflects deep divisions within the EU on migration policy, with debates centering on solidarity, border security, and humanitarian obligations. This move comes as the broader EU Pact on Migration and Asylum edges closer to full implementation. It highlights efforts to reform the system amid varying national priorities across the 27 member states. The decision has sparked lively discussion in Brussels and national capitals, with some viewing it as a pragmatic tool and others warning it could shift responsibilities away from core EU values. As implementation details are worked out, the focus will be on ensuring transparency, oversight, and compliance with international standards. The outcome could shape migration management in Europe for years to come. Do you support external return hubs as a solution to migration challenges? Or do you see risks in this approach? Let us know your opinion below. My next news is Earth Hour 2026 lights up Europe, climate awareness amid energy pressures. Millions across the European Union joined the Global Earth Hour 2026 event on Saturday evening, with iconic landmarks and buildings switching off their lights for 1 hour to raise awareness about climate change and energy conservation. In Brussels, the City Hall, Atomium, and other sites went dark, joining thousands of cities worldwide in the WWF initiative. Similar actions took place in cities from Amsterdam and Paris to Berlin and beyond, symbolizing a collective call for sustainable practices. This year's event occurs against the backdrop of rising energy concerns linked to international conflicts and the push for climate goals. While symbolic, Earth Hour encourages reflection on everyday habits, from reducing consumption to supporting renewables. At a time when the EU debates its emissions trading system, ETS, and long-term climate strategies, 8 member states recently urged against weakening the carbon market, calling it a pillar of EU climate policy. At the same time, reforms to the customs union and handling fees for small parcels from outside the bloc aim to address economic and environmental pressures. The 20th anniversary of Earth Hour highlights growing public engagement with sustainability, even as policymakers balance green ambitions with affordability for citizens. Participants used the moment for silent discos, community events, and discussions on practical climate action. Whether small gestures translate into larger policy shifts remains an open question, but the widespread participation keeps environmental issues prominent in European discourse. Did you turn off the lights for Earth Hour? How can the EU better combine climate action with energy security? Drop your views in the comments. My next news is, No Kings protests sweep across America and beyond. In recent days, thousands of demonstrators have taken to the streets in cities across the United States for what organizers call the No Kings protests. Rallies have been reported in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Austin, Minneapolis, and many other locations, with similar events appearing in parts of Europe, including France and Italy. Protesters are voicing opposition to several policies of the current Trump administration, particularly the ongoing military actions involving Iran, concerns over rising living costs, and what they describe as an increasingly authoritarian style of governance. Organizers claim events were planned in all 50 states, describing the day as one of the largest coordinated nonviolent actions in recent American history. Crowds carried signs, chanted slogans, and called for greater accountability from the government. Some participants focused on anti-war messages, criticizing U.S. involvement in the Middle East. Others highlighted domestic issues such as immigration enforcement and economic pressures on everyday families. The White House has downplayed the protests, with officials referring to them as Trump derangement therapy sessions and suggesting they represent a small, vocal minority rather than mainstream opinion. President Trump himself has reportedly called the demonstrations a joke. Meanwhile, international echoes of the movement have appeared in Europe, though turnout there has been smaller. In Paris, for example, hundreds gathered at Place de la Bastille to voice concerns about endless wars and perceived overreach of power. These protests come at a tense time, as the U.S. continues to navigate its foreign policy challenges in the Middle East. Whether the No Kings movement grows or fades remains to be seen, but it highlights the deep divisions that continue to shape American politics today. What do you think? Are these protests a sign of widespread discontent, or just the usual political noise? Let us know in the comments. My next news is Trump's bold statement on Cuba. Cuba's next. During a recent speech in Miami, Florida, President Donald Trump made headlines with a striking comment about Cuba. While discussing U.S. military successes in Venezuela and Iran, the president reportedly said, "Cuba's next," before quickly adding, "Pretend I didn't say that," and asking the media to move on. The remark, delivered at an investment conference, has sparked intense debate and speculation about America's future foreign policy direction in the Western Hemisphere. Cuba has long been a point of tension in U.S. politics, and Trump's words have reignited discussions about possible increased pressure, diplomatic, economic, or otherwise, on the island nation. Supporters see the comment as classic Trump-style peace through strength signaling, a clear message that the United States will not hesitate to confront regimes it views as adversarial. Critics, however, worry it could escalate regional tensions unnecessarily and complicate efforts to stabilize other parts of the world. This comes amid broader Trump administration actions in the Middle East. The president has been balancing tough rhetoric with diplomatic maneuvers, including a recent 10-day pause on further strikes against Iranian energy sites, saying talks with Tehran are going very well. Trump has repeatedly emphasized that his approach puts America first while projecting strength abroad. Whether the Cuba comment was a serious policy hint or simply off the cuff remains unclear, but it has certainly captured global attention. In the same speech and recent appearances, the president has also highlighted economic wins, including efforts to position the U.S. as a leader in cryptocurrency and stablecoins through new legislation. As always with Trump, bold statements keep the world watching. Will there be real movement toward Cuba? Or was this just another memorable moment in his unpredictable style? Only time will tell. Drop your thoughts below. Do you see this as strong leadership or risky provocation? My next news is Trump's signature to appear on US dollar bills, a historic first. In a move that breaks more than 165 years of tradition, the U.S. Treasury Department has announced that President Donald Trump's signature will soon appear on all new American paper currency. This will mark the first time a sitting president's signature has ever been printed on US dollar bills. The change is being made to commemorate the United States' 250th anniversary in 2026. New bills featuring the signature are expected to enter circulation in the coming months and years as old currency is replaced. The decision has drawn mixed reactions. Supporters view it as a fitting tribute to a president who has made economic strength and American pride central themes of his leadership. They argue it's a symbolic way to recognize the nation's milestone, while honoring the current administration's focus on financial policy. Critics, however, see it as breaking long-standing norms and injecting politics into something as fundamental as the dollar, a currency that belongs to all Americans, regardless of party. The announcement comes during a busy period for the Trump administration, which is also dealing with issues such as partial government funding challenges, TSA worker payments via executive action, and broader economic concerns including oil prices and inflation. Trump has often positioned himself as a disruptor of Washington traditions, and this currency change fits that pattern. Whether it becomes a lasting symbol of his presidency or simply a footnote in history, it underscores how this administration continues to leave its mark in unexpected ways. At the same time, the president has been active on other economic fronts, including promoting the U.S. as the future undisputed crypto capital of the world through new stablecoin frameworks. Love it or hate it, this historic shift on the dollar is another reminder that the Trump era continues to reshape American institutions. What's your take? Should presidents' signatures appear on money, or should currency stay politically neutral? Share your opinion in the comments. My next news is Ibrahim Traoré, Africa's youngest leader, turns 38 amid bold plans and security challenges. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the world's youngest serving head of state, recently celebrated his 38th birthday, drawing massive attention across Africa and the global Pan-African community. As the transitional leader of Burkina Faso, Traoré continues to capture headlines with his ambitious $64 billion development strategy for 2026 to 2030. The plan focuses heavily on using the country's gold resources to fund major improvements in security, education, infrastructure, and governance. Traoré has positioned Burkina Faso as a showcase model for the continent, a sovereign nation building its future without relying on foreign aid or begging for food, as he famously stated. However, challenges remain intense. Recent terrorist attacks by groups like JNIM have killed soldiers and tested the military's resolve. Traoré has pledged to crush terrorism while pushing a people's progressive revolution that emphasizes self-reliance and rapid industrialization. Internationally, Traoré leads the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, formed by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger after distancing themselves from ECOWAS. The bloc is exploring deeper ties with partners like Russia, including recent visits by foreign ministers. Supporters across Africa and the diaspora praise Traoré as a symbol of youthful, incorruptible leadership and true sovereignty. Critics point to ongoing security issues and question the pace of progress under military rule. At just 38, Traoré is often compared to revolutionary icons, with many young Africans seeing him as proof that bold, homegrown solutions can challenge old systems. Whether his gold-funded vision can deliver lasting change in one of the world's poorest nations remains a key question for 2026. Is Captain Traoré the future of African leadership? Or is the security situation too volatile? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. My next news is tension between Traoré and Tinubu, ECOWAS versus AES in West Africa. Tensions in West Africa are trending as divisions grow between Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, current ECOWAS chairman, and Burkina Faso's Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a leading voice in the breakaway alliance of Sahel states. Recent comments and diplomatic moves have sparked heated online debates. Tinubu's recent state visit to the UK and statements on regional stability have been interpreted by some as criticism of the military-led governments in the Sahel. In response, supporters of Traoré accuse ECOWAS of blocking true African unity and sovereignty. Traoré and the AES nations, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, have shown openness to returning to ECOWAS, but only as a bloc, not individually. This stance highlights deep disagreements over sanctions, security cooperation, and foreign influence in the region. While Tinubu emphasizes collective action against coups and terrorism through ECOWAS, Traoré focuses on self-defense, resource sovereignty, and rejecting what he calls external interference. Recent terrorist incidents in Burkina Faso have added urgency to these discussions. The rivalry has gone viral on social media, with many framing it as a battle between traditional regional institutions and a new Pan-African revolutionary spirit. Some voices call for dialogue and reconciliation, warning that division weakens the entire continent against common threats like jihadist groups. As ECOWAS explores new counterterrorism forces and the AES strengthens alternative partnerships, the future of West African unity hangs in the balance. Will Tinubu and Traoré find common ground? Or will the split between ECOWAS and AES deepen in 2026? Drop your take below. Unity or sovereignty first? My next news is, in the next video, I am Remi Djalis from OKHANO TV Netherlands with my news of the day. I will now forward with playing my own home-made music. Caribbean Energy Week 2026 kicks off in Paramaribo, Suriname's oil future in focus.
geen spijt, je hebt gewacht. Het is raar, het is raar. Het is raar, ik heb jou diep geraakt. Daarom ben ik ook geraakt, dat jouw liefde mij belaadt. Jouw code is zo vaag, toch heb ik jou gekraakt. Bijna klapen op mijn kaak, want je had dan ook een maat. Maar zo is eenmaal de straat, je krijgt liefde en haat. En jij kruiste mijn pad, zo flex als je was. Aandacht voor mijn hart, rond dingen die je had. Ik wist al wat het was, schatje. Het is raak, het is raak. Ik gaf je het hart, jou blij gemaakt, voor het open haard. En ik deed het graag, geen spijt, je hebt gewacht. Het is raar, het is raar. Het is raar, ik heb jou diep geraakt. Daarom ben ik ook geraakt, dat jouw liefde mij belaadt. Jouw code is zo vaag, toch heb ik jou gekraakt. Bijna klapen op mijn kaak, want je had dan ook een maat. Maar zo is eenmaal de straat, je krijgt liefde en haat. En jij kruiste mijn pad, zo flex als je was. Aandacht voor mijn hart, rond dingen die je had. Ik wist al wat het was, schatje. Het is raak, het is raak, het is raak, schatje.
ishwidi deidi maikuda unaikuda wal ifaidu waya ishwidi ifaidu waya ishwidi surudina waya ishwidi ifaidu waya ishwidi ifaidu waya shudi. Ifaidu waya ishwidi ifaidu waya ishwidi ifaidu waya ishwidi. Sudina waya ishwidi godauna woli bina watudi Sudina waya ishwidi godauna woli bina watudi bina Bina watudi ifaidu ya ishwidi ifaidu ya ishwidi. Sudina waya shwidi dudauna watudi Sudina waya yeshwidi dudauna ifaidu ya ishwidi ifaidu ya ishwidi dudauna waya ishwidi ifaidu Surinaya Ishweri Dudauna Wani Bina Ifaidu Ya Ishweri Dudauna Wani Bina Ifaidu Ya Ishweri Ifaidu Ya Ishweri Dudauna Wadudi
Shofi the wall, if you the wall, if you the maybe Friday, Suriname, Suriname. Samre. Oh, if you know, Udo vindo, oh, Samre di sao. Samre di sao. Easy. Dice
Dize
ina bebe samida. Si namba. Yango nanam, yango nanam, yango nanam, yango nanam, yango nanam. Yango sese, isese sinama, na bebe de somira. Yabana, yamana, 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 yamana. If you dey budo, I should know. If you down, I should know.
als je niet zelf beslist. Hey. Ja. Den Haag is niet altijd fris. Velen hebben het al lang gezien. Den Haag is sluw of wij niet zo keen. Alles wat beloofd werd is aan het einde misschien. Geef maar al die banen gerust aan jouw vriend. Je geeft... Ja. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis? wanneer het de gewone man is. Elke keer is het een nieuwe list, dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Den Haag is niet altijd fris, velen hebben het al lang gezien. Den Haag is sluw of wij niet zo keen. Alles wat beloofd werd is aan het einde misschien. Geef maar al die banen gerust aan jouw vriend. Je geeft me een 6, maar ik verdiende een 10. De echte dieven van de stad worden ontzien. Maar zo zal het zijn, de gewone man voelt de pijn. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis, wanneer het de gewone man is? Elke keer is het een nieuwe list, dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis, wanneer het de gewone man is? Vraag je waarom hij zit aan de wijn, voor jou is het allemaal gein. Zogenaamd hebben armen geen brein. Is het vele geld niet fijn? Is het vele geld niet fijn? Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis, wanneer het de gewone man is? Elke keer is het een nieuwe list, dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Kleine man is, laten ze in ongewis. Overal wordt je gedist, van het kastje naar de muur. Hij voelt zoveel vuur, hoe betaalt hij de huur? Noemen ze ons onguur, maken ze alles duur. Hoe gluurt of duurt, geen hulp in de buurt. Dan jij zelf een gevecht voor elk. Hoe koop je babymelk, heb je centjes in je kelk? Hier is hetzelfde gezellig, mijn liedje doet jou niks. Maar toch jongen, het helpt, je huis net zo duur als Wilders zijn vellig. Dat heb je als je niet zelf beslist. Ja, waarom gaat het altijd mis, wanneer het een gewone man is? Elke keer is het een nieuwe list, Den Haag is niet altijd fris. Ja. Don't know if I'm yours, but I know you are mine. Sometimes I am mean, I know I am not kind. You're free to leave, but I want you on my side. I know in the struggle I don't treat you right, but baby understand that I don't have the might. All I can do is just sing it down the mic. Sometimes to make it you do what you don't like. Baby girl, give the world. If I could, baby, I really would. Baby girl, give the world. If I could, don't know why I shouldn't. Baby girl, give the world. If I could, Sometimes you have to dismiss. Let me walk my path alone. Jah will guide me home. Jah never, never disappoint me. Jah originally, now me S-P-I-T. Now do deliberately. Think you wanna hurt me? Please Jah call me. We all see them try to fool me. Me said Jah call me. That's why I pray Jah keep me. Oh please Jah cool me. Yeah. Tell them that I'm ready now, but no rush, better wait it out. I'm stepping downtown, warning loud and clear. Keep your craziness there. Spitfire is next year. That's why me say, Jah call me. Please me pray, Jah cool me. We all see them try to fool me. That's why me say, Jah cool me. We all see they try to fool me. Aye, aye, aye. Yes, this thing won't stop till it go over the top. Things that you don't want to drop. For too long it was cropped till it goes pop, pop, pop. Every man think they are nuts, but you're not the only with nuts. Never think to come make a fuss, never fool me. Jah, that's why we say pull me. You will see them try to fool me. That's why me pray, cool me. Me said Jah hold me. Me said Jah cool me. A liar is a devil and the devil is a liar. Spit fire, throwing it in the fire. Just like in Shranag they conspire. Make you gotta make a water saka. You sabi sang na America. De America ba a holiday. Kaba Aladdin. Be please for waka. Basan make a water saka. Ting kong doro kaba. For sorry you suma sexa. Hey, this not spit of fire. Me a brown ding nanganing for DJ. Back row I know me brother. We see I know me siesta. We see make you live it better. No yeah, taki kaka. Hey, hey, back row I know me brother. Hali como boya. Your king I say has no cloth. Ma you know Abby a scorer. Hey, your king has no clothes. When I speak they are for. Hey, 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 your king has no clothes. Hey, hey, yeah. Your king has no clothes. When I speak, they are for. Yeah. Your king has no clothes. Y'all living like y'all don't know. Yeah. Your king has no clothes. When I speak, they are for. Your king has no clothes. Yeah, a liar is a devil and a devil is a liar. Spit fire, throwing it in the fire. Just like in Shranag they conspire. Make you gotta make a water saka. You sabi sang na Melika te Melika ba halite kaba Aladdin be bleach for waka. Pass and make a water saka. Ting kong doro kaba. For sorry, you suma safe side. Hey, this not spit of fire. Me a brown ding nanganing for DJ. Back row I know me brother. We see I know me siesta. We see make you live it better. No yeah, taki kaka, tak row I know me brother. Haliko mopo ya. Your king I say has no clothes. Ma you know I be scoro. Your king has no clothes. Hey, when I speak they are for. Yeah, your king has no clothes. Hey, y'all living like y'all don't know. Hey, 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 hey. They say they are men, but standing on their own they can't bend for anything, everything they fake. I shake, I quake, crumble this. Suckers like end the days. More destruction, the more they pray. Devilish people talk they could stay. Doing wrong without having to pay. That's my enemy's way. They say but they cave as they crave. In the race for their own race. They think we all step it to see it their way. attack the little youth while you mess up the hood. Every day you shoot but your baby lack food. Cops throw you down but it's nothing you do. Slap you in the face and rough you well too. Make you sleep on stone until you turn blue. You're shooting in the hood while your man got no clue. Them got many wars if you got something to prove. There is no old gunman, them all lost them Jews. They got many warnings but they all refuse.
Big man, big man, big man.
Big man, acting like little children, hanging at the battle and they shooting their brethren. Big man, acting like little children, smoke them ganja and them shooting them brother. Big man, acting like little children, smoke them coke and them man lose control. Big man, big man. On the street you no speak but at home your wife you beat. In the neighborhood you steal, that's the kind of life you lead. What me I say is you wishy-washy. Banks on the corner but you scared to see.
Big man, big man,
Big man, big man, acting like little children, hanging on the battle and them shooting them brethren. Big man, acting like little children, smoke them